Throughout history, female rulers have often been remembered through extremes. They are described as saints or monsters, victims or tyrants. Rarely are they examined as political actors operating within the constraints of their time. This documentary does not rank queens, nor does it assign moral labels. Instead, it examines 12 women who exercised sovereign or near-sovereign power, and whose actions are frequently cited as evidence of cruelty, repression, or violence. Their stories are considered within historical context, political necessity, and the structures they governed. Let's start at number 12. Isabella I of Castile ruled in late 15th century Spain during a period of consolidation and religious uniformity. Alongside Ferdinand of Aragon, she completed the Reconquista and authorized the Spanish Inquisition. These policies resulted in persecution, forced conversions, and expulsions. At the same time, Isabella strengthened royal authority, reformed governance, and laid foundations for Spain's emergence as a European power. Her reign reflects the fusion of religion and state common to her era. Coming in at number 11, Mary I of England, often remembered by the epithet Bloody Mary, reigned for 5 years in the mid-16th century. Her efforts to restore Catholicism led to the execution of several hundred Protestants. Religious persecution, however, was not unique to her reign. Similar practices occurred under her father and her successor. Mary's rule unfolded within a Europe where religious conformity was widely enforced by law, and this is only the beginning. If you enjoy thoughtful history, stay with this channel and subscribe. At number 10, Elizabeth I of England ruled for 45 years and presided over relative political stability. Her government executed Catholic priests, suppressed rebellion, and authorized harsh measures in Ireland. These actions were carried out in the name of state security and religious uniformity. Elizabeth's reputation often contrasts with Mary's, despite the use of comparable methods. Now at number 9, Catherine de' Medici, Queen Consort and later Regent of France, governed during the French Wars of Religion. As regent for her sons, she navigated persistent civil conflict between Catholics and Protestants. The St. Bartholomew's Day massacre, which resulted in thousands of deaths, occurred during her political dominance, though responsibility remains debated among historians. Her rule illustrates the limits of control during civil war. Coming in at number 8, Wu Zetian rose from concubinage to become the only woman to rule China as emperor in her own right. Her reign during the Tang dynasty involved political purges, the use of secret police, and executions of rivals, including members of her own family. At the same time, she expanded the civil service examination system and maintained administrative stability. At number 7, Irene of Athens ruled the Byzantine Empire as regent and later as sole ruler. Her reign included efforts to restore the veneration of icons, reversing previous imperial policy. In securing power, she authorized the blinding of her son, Constantine VI, an act consistent with Byzantine practices of political incapacitation. Number 6, Olga of Kiev, a regent in 10th century Eastern Europe, is remembered for violent reprisals against the Drevlians following her husband's death. Medieval sources describe mass executions and symbolic punishments. These accounts reflect early medieval norms of vengeance and authority rather than isolated personal cruelty. At number 5, Fredegund of Soissons, a Merovingian queen consort and regent, operated within a political culture marked by assassination, feud, and dynastic violence. Contemporary chronicles portray her as ruthless, though such sources were often hostile and shaped by factional conflict. Coming in at number 4, Agrippina the Younger, mother of Emperor Nero, wielded significant influence in Roman imperial politics. Ancient sources accuse her of poisoning and manipulation, though these accounts come largely from male historians critical of female authority. Her career demonstrates the dangers and volatility of power within the Roman court. Number 3, Rana Valona, first of Madagascar, ruled for over 3 decades in the 19th century. Her reign involved forced labor, executions, and policies that contributed to significant population decline. Her rule was shaped by resistance to European influence and internal consolidation, though the human cost was severe. At number 2, Elizabeth Bathory, a Hungarian noblewoman rather than a reigning queen, is frequently cited in popular culture. While accused of extreme violence, modern historians debate the extent and nature of her crimes, noting political motives and unreliable testimony. And finally, Cixi, Empress Dowager of China, governed behind the throne during the late Qing dynasty. Her rule involved suppression of reform movements and resistance to foreign intervention. Her legacy remains contested, shaped by both political outcomes and later historiography. These women ruled in societies where power was maintained through coercion, law, and force. Their actions were not exceptional within their systems, but they were remembered differently. History has often judged female rulers not only by what they did, but by how uncomfortable their authority made others. Understanding their reigns requires context, not verdicts. History often asks a simple question: who deserves to be remembered? Lists like this invite another: who is missing? The answer is not disagreement. The answer is context. These women did not become what they were in isolation. They were shaped by dynasties, wars, religious conflict, succession crises, and systems that equated authority with force. In many cases, they inherited instability rather than choice. Some ruled through law, some ruled through violence, some ruled from the throne, others ruled from behind it. What they shared was not cruelty, but constraint. Pre-modern power was rarely gentle. It demanded obedience, punishment, and control. These expectations applied to kings as well as queens, but women who exercised authority were remembered differently. Their actions were more often personalized, moralized, or reduced to character. This is why such lists will always feel incomplete. Not because history lacks powerful women, but because history has rarely allowed them complexity. The question, then, is not whether these queens were good or evil. It is whether they could have ruled differently in the worlds they inherited. Understanding their lives does not require verdicts. It requires perspective. And perhaps the most honest conclusion is this: these women did not fail history. History struggled to record them fairly. Thank you for watching. If you value history told carefully and accurately, consider staying with this channel and subscribing. The past deserves precision as much as curiosity.